Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to Mindustry. Last episode, we captured the Desolate Rift. Um, Relatively easy, actually. I was expecting a challenge, not to sound too arrogant. Um, Today, I would like to handle the planetary launch terminal, but before I do so, in the spirit of keeping in, open communications and open integration with my audience. I got a comment on one of the videos, I don't even remember which. I will put it on the screen, asking me to capture Sector 72. They claim that it has everything that everything that you'd ever want except for scrap. So I'd like to go capture Sector 72 real quick. It looks like it's right next to my phase fabric facility. How much do we got here? Oh, we are full. That's fine. So it looks like I'm gonna probably capture this either off camera. I'll just do it real quick, or I will set up a defense and then we will let it sit. You know what I mean? So what are we rocking here? Looks like we do have everything here except for scrap. Actually, yeah. Do we have sand? We do. We do have some sand going on down here. Okay. This is actually not a bad area. Like, actually not a bad suggestion. Whoever that was. Sorry, sorry that I'm not able to recall your name off the top of my head. But fantastic suggestion. I know that I said that this is probably going to be the finale for the series. That doesn't mean that I won't eventually one day play this on stream if you guys want it. That doesn't mean that I might eventually return to this at some point. And if I decide to 100% this achievement, if I decide to 100% this game and get all the achievements, one of the achievements is I believe, to get 50,000 units produced per minute, I believe, across the entire planet. And in that kind of situation, these kind of sectors are going to be very, very important. Full disclosure, there are multiple sectors I have that I've captured and just not set anything up on. There's a handful of them that I've like physically not set anything up on. Naval Fortress is one of them. I want to turn this into thorium or phase fabric or something. There's a handful of sectors that I've captured and I've literally just not done anything with. This lead copper 2 sector. Nothing. I haven't done anything with that. Yeah, there's a handful of them. So I mean, if I ever decide to go for world domination, not that it's necessary, but if I ever do decide to go the route to capture every single sector on the planet, it will be kind of useful to have more resources. You know what I mean?
3 days later.
Alrighty, that took about 8 minutes longer than it fucking should have, because I'm not a, again, I've stated this multiple times throughout the series, but I am not a massive fan of how fast the fucking player default drone builds. Really hope that the Erekir campaign kind of alleviates some of these quality of life hassles. Anyway, let's see how many waves this will be able to survive. Survives 23 out of 23 waves. Alright, cool. So we are good on that. We are solid. So while Sector 72 is just being captured, we can go ahead and launch from here to Planetary Launch Terminal, which will be nice. So this is allegedly the final mission in the campaign, so let's go ahead and see what we're fucking up against. Okay. Holy shit. We could use naval units. This might be interesting. Where's the core? A lot of surge walls. Surge walls are a lot easier to deal with than phase fabric walls. I'm very happy about this. I might be able to basically send a bunch of daggers, just like spam daggers or crawlers, basically. Because we actually don't have to deal with phase fabric walls, which is nice. Where's the core? Over here. Alright. One nucleus is what we're up against. So we could do naval. We could do a tier 5 naval units, or we could do like tier 3 or 4 naval units, while we also mount a ground assault, right? I'm only seeing one core, I believe. Okay. Well, so it should be relatively simple. What are we gonna go for? I don't know. I kind of like the idea of a naval of a naval assault, but I don't know how close is the nuclear. Also, I don't know what the hell this thing is. Interplanetary accelerator. Do I have to capture that as well? Do I need to like break that or something? It is technically an enemy structure. I don't know. How close is this thing to the water? Oh, really close to the water. So I could go for like Omura's. I could just like turtle up and manufacture tier 4 and 5 units, right? And send them in this way. It's probably kind of a lame way to handle this, but it might be the simplest way to handle this. Probably not the shortest time. Probably not the shortest way to handle this. Again, I think the speedrunning strategy for most of Serpulo is generally believed to be just like dropping explosive suicide units on enemies. So there is that. I don't know. So we can go ahead and build some thermal power. This is eradication level, so honestly, I was expecting phase fabric walls. I think surge alloy walls are way easier to handle than phase fabric walls, because phase fabric walls basically bounce fucking projectiles back, and that's super annoying. Bit hectic, but I'm pretty sure that most defense waves like this always start hectic. So, not exactly surprised. We are even going to be really nice and really double layer this shit, because I'm that concerned about the enemy not routing properly, because this game has piss poor AI routing. So, I'm even gonna like double layer this wall with nice beefy surge walls. And I'm even gonna stick this stuff here in case for some reason it doesn't decide. Again, AI decides to be piss poor and not, you know, go properly. Should I have built polys for this? Absolutely. Do I give a shit? Also, no. How are we doing on power? We're just skirting the line. And I can supplement this with solar if I need to later. I think this should be enough. This is not going to be enough to run a tier 5 factory, I'll tell you that for a fact. But it should be enough to run just about anything else. So, I guess we'll see. I want to get daggers going. Because the enemy's not using phase walls, it should be relatively simple for me to get away with basically spamming out dagger units. Because you normally can't do that on extreme threat level bases, because obviously like the phase fabric walls are so annoying to deal with. But if they don't have phase fabric walls, kind of a them issue, isn't it? So again, probably should have built my core starter. Why? Oh, I forgot flying units are a thing that fucking exist, aren't they? Yay! And that'll give us a pretty decent defense, actually. That'll be nice. And then we can kind of focus on tier 5s. I don't know how I'm going to fit tier 5s up here. I might not do tier 5s at all. How well are these guys doing? Not too well. I might swap these guys for crawlers instead. Because these guys actually aren't really accomplishing a whole lot, actually. So I might swap these guys out for crawlers instead. Yeah. Alright, we need to start focusing up on actual units. So, am I even going to be able to get tier 5s out? I don't even know. I mean, maybe tier 4s are going to be the way to go. What's the range of these guys? 35 blocks? That's probably okay. What's the range in a Spectre? Spectre has a range of 32 blocks. So these guys will outrange Spectres that are along the coastline. So we can use the Says to blow that guy up to make it easier for us. And then we can outrange all the Ripples probably. Ripples have a range of 36 blocks, but they're also highly inaccurate. So I can probably use a Say to kind of bait out projectiles and kill them that way. So we can kind of blow this up. And then we are going to be here. So then we can outrange the Spectre, these two Spectres, probably blow this up and kind of alleviate some of these some of the hassle of these units. And then at this point we're just going to be left with these foreshadows basically and the meltdowns and that kind of thing. So yeah, I like that idea. So at that point we don't even care about tier 5s, do we? We just care about tier 4s. So let's go ahead and build an exponential reconstructor here in the water. Do this kind of stuff. God, that's gonna take fucking forever to build. I forgot about that. Forgot that it takes 10 minutes to build a single tier 4. So are these crawlers even getting close? They're totally not, because the Spectre is able to pierce through these guys. So maybe the crawlers aren't even a good idea. Maybe this all needs to be trashed, right? Yeah, the crawlers aren't really going to accomplish anything. All they're doing is kind of diverting resources away from other stuff, right? Still not a fan of the fact that if your drone dies, you lose all of your build plans. Still pretty fucking annoying, to be honest with you. Not happy about that one. Alright, let's go ahead and strip these walls down. I'll leave the salvo up, but we'll go ahead and strip the walls down. I'm gonna need cryofluid, and there's no way for me to get physically enough titanium here, so that's gonna have to be a titanium that I pull. I mean, I could, if I scrap all of this, I can probably get a little bit of titanium, maybe. I really should have built some polys, to be honest with you. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like the earlier you get the polys, the better it is. Again, I'm still waiting for the game to add some kind of method of bringing units with you from other maps. Like I feel like if the enemies are allowed to do it, that you should be allowed to do it, because it's kind of bullshit. That would make me a lot more attached to my units. Kind of a very clunky game mechanic, to be honest with you. So go ahead and kill all this. I can pull all the titanium here, and then I can grab this sand and make cryofluid up. Or no, cryofluid needs, I'm thinking of plastanium or whatever. Cryofluid needs water and titanium. So. Alright, and then we just need to get some titanium going. Do I have the power to be worrying about laser drills or air blast drills? Yes. Do I need that much? Probably not. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I probably don't need anywhere near that much titanium. I think this probably is going to be enough. So that's why I'm doing it this way. Can I afford... Oh, look at that. The Say. So, I've basically gone up the coast, and I've kind of destroyed any specters that were along the coast that would cause any issues in the long run of me traveling up and down. I did destroy this specter encampment. I think I can tank these foreshadows long enough to get to the core with probably the units that I have right now. But I'm going to be doubly sure and produce units while I'm kind of waiting for the Guardian Wave in 3 waves. If those foreshadows do 1200 damage, and these guys have 1100 health, these guys can eat like 10 foreshadow shots. So with 13 of these guys, I could very easily tank the foreshadows long enough to get into the core. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not concerned about that. I could finish the job now. I'm gonna finish the job now. I'm not gonna wait until I'm not gonna wait for the Toxipid. It's 3 waves away. It's gonna take fucking forever, right? Yeah, it's 2 waves away. It's fine. It's gonna be a couple minutes anyway. So I'm gonna go finish the map now anyway. It's fine. It's not a big deal. So this should be with this many tier 4 units, these guys are beefy enough that like I should be able to get enough DPS on the core long enough to get to the core, or at least take out the foreshadows, which will then leave the core exposed, because there's not much else on that core for the most part. I mean, these fuses are not going to be a threat to us. That meltdown is not going to be a threat to us. That meltdown is range of that, right? But the foreshadows are a threat because they take up the entire screen essentially. But if I can just swoop these guys in here, like along the edge of the vision, and just like, you know, snipe these foreshadows out, basically, the game is over. These specters are not going to be much of a threat. It's going to be fine. So let's go ahead and get these guys some momentum going, because the other units are kind of annoying because they can only really face one direction. They're not like an air unit or a walker where they're able to kind of turn on a dime. I want to get these guys some momentum, so I'm gonna go ahead and swoop these guys in like right here. I guess I need to make sure that I'm right out of range of that meltdown. So I guess we'll swoop them in right here, right? They will take some shots, but that's all right. I'm not too concerned about that. There you go. Game is as good as over. Ta-da! Hey! The enemy on Serpulo has been defeated. The final sector has been conquered. Sector playtime 53 minutes. Alright. Continue. Is that it? We are all good. Stellar. Alright. This guy isn't under attack, is he? He is. Of course he is. So, cool. That's Serpulo.